The world froze. For a heartbeat, there was only silence, the kind that hums before a storm. Jasim Khan's eyes locked with hers. He had seen beauty before, painted, polished, perfect. But never like this. Jannat stood in the soft light, her bridal dupatta falling like moonlight around her. Her skin wasn't only fair, it glowed softly, like light caught in calm water. The designer outfit, embroidered with gold and pearls, seemed to belong to her rather than the other way around. It wasn't just her beauty that struck him, it was her eyes. Those wide, trembling eyes, oceans of shock, confusion, pain, and betrayal, met his. For a fleeting second, Jasim forgot to breathe. Something flickered deep within him. A buried emotion, a heartbeat he thought long dead. Then her voice broke through, soft, quivering, trembling on the edge of tears. "No one told me." The words hung heavy in the air. Naeema's smile faltered. "Told you what, Jannat?" Janet's gaze wavered between Jasim and the wheelchair, her throat tight, lips trembling. "No one told me about this." The silence that followed was suffocating. Even the chandeliers seemed to dim, their glow shrinking under the weight of her words. Jasim's fingers clenched on the armrest. For a second, he thought he'd misheard, but her tears told him otherwise. His voice came low and sharp, slicing through the stillness. "You didn't know?" She didn't know. His voice came low and sharp, slicing through the stillness. "You didn't know?" Her eyes filled further. She shook her head weakly. He turned to Naeema and Roma, disbelief and fury shadowing his face. "You knew she didn't know, and you still went ahead?" Naeema's voice cracked. "Brother, please, it's not like that we told her mother." Her words died under his glare. "Her mother?" His tone hardened, deep and cold. "You thought telling her mother was enough?" Jannat looked between them, confusion and heartbreak tangled on her face. "Mama can't do this," she wouldn't, but even as she said it, her voice broke. Some part of her already knew the truth, Razia would. Roma took a step forward, tears welling. Please don't be angry. Maybe it was a misunderstanding." "Misunderstanding?" Jasim's voice thundered. "You lied. All of you. You let this happen. You dragged an innocent girl into a lie." Naeema's hands shook. "No, brother, we just wanted enough." His voice silenced them all. Jannat stood frozen, her breathing shallow, her world collapsing one word at a time. Jasim's eyes softened slightly as they fell on her again, the fragile figure, the girl who'd walked into his life blindfolded by deceit. "This marriage," he said quietly, "was built on lies. And a relationship born this way," he paused, his voice breaking, "has no right to exist." The words tore through her like glass. Naeema gasped. "Brother, no. Don't say that." But he didn't stop. Jasim Khan, in my full consciousness, before my sisters and witnesses, declare that." He never finished. A loud thud cracked through the air. Janet's body hit the marble floor, her dupatta trailing like spilled silk. The edge of the glass-top center table struck her forehead, a thin line of red blooming instantly. He stared at her, frozen. For a long moment, Jasim couldn't move, couldn't speak. The sound of her fall still echoed in his mind like a sharp crack that wouldn't stop. Naeema gasped, stumbling forward. "Jannat!" Roma dropped to the floor beside her, shaking. "She's bleeding, someone help." The maid rushed in, bringing a towel from the sideboard. She pressed it gently against Janet's forehead, her hands trembling as the white cloth turned red within seconds. The sisters looked at each other, pale, frightened, speechless. And Jasim, he just sat there, staring at the motionless figure on the floor, his breath caught somewhere between disbelief and dread. He didn't speak. He didn't reach out. Only his eyes, fixed, wide, unblinking, followed the slow movement of the maid's hands as she tried to stop the bleeding. The room felt heavy, as though even the walls were holding their breath. Roma whispered, her voice barely there, "She's not moving," and for the first time, Jasim's chest tightened, not from sorrow, but from the cold realization of what had just happened. He had faced loss, pain, and humiliation before, but not this kind of guilt. This was different, raw, unfamiliar. Around him, his sisters whispered her name, their sobs echoing faintly, but he heard none of it. All he could see was the girl on the floor, his wife.